Unless you've been living under a rock, you've probably been hearing a lot about the stock market lately. Millions of people are beginning to invest for the first time ever. And we're realizing that the financial system should be built to work for us. That's why Robinhood is creating real human education resources, truly digestible financial news, and a platform that lets you invest in your own way, on your own terms. The next generation of investors is already here, and it includes you. Robinhood. Investing is risky. Robinhood Financial, LLC.
Lowe's has more of what trade pros like you need to get the job done. That means more delivery options, more convenient hours to fit your schedule, and more savings to fit your budget. More of the brands you trust the most. More of everything you need, all in one place. That's why, in the past year, more electricians, landscapers, painters, plumbers, and other pros helped make Lowe's the new home for trade pros. U.S. only.
This is Germany.
And this is Brittany.
And this is the Black Girl Bravado podcast.
A motivating and encouraging podcast where we focus on building community amongst colorful women alike.
Join us weekly as we sit down and have candid conversations on various topics and issues surrounding self-care, self-love, mental health and wellness, spirituality, entrepreneurship, and much more.
And trust, when we don't have the answers, we'll call on our expert homegirls who do.
Our intention is to create a safe space for growth, inspiration, laughter, and love, free of judgment, in hopes that after you listen, you're a little more knowledgeable or at least a little more entertained than before.
It's homegirl vibes here. Real, raw, and a little funny.
A lot of fucking funny.
So thanks for tuning in to the Black Girl Bravado podcast.
Let's start the show, cuties.
Hey y'all, welcome back.
Welcome back, boo-boos. I feel like it's been a long time, but it hasn't.
It really has felt like that.
It hasn't been that long, though.
It hasn't been. It's only been a week.
Here we are.
7 whole days.
Come on. And, sorry. Not waiting for you. I don't know the words to that one.
I don't know. I like the sound here. This is our first episode being recorded out of our new studio, and I like the sound.
Sounds good. No dogs clicking and clacking.
No dogs clicking and clacking. No fire trucks. No nothing. Just fucking vibes.
Yeah. So yeah, we have our HQ, our little studio.
Yes.
I'm super grateful. Super thankful.
Grateful.
It's coming together really cutely and well. Okay, I didn't even see that they painted behind the door below it.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. It's so cute.
It's slowly not even slowly. It's quickly coming together. We got paint. We got furniture. We're getting wallpaper tomorrow. We're getting more furniture.
Yeah. Our rug, our little coffee table, our bar, cart. So yeah, you guys will get some pictures. Actually, we'll share pictures on Patreon for our little Patreon community.
Yeah. Because y'all are the ones helping us furnish it.
Period.
It's and if you would like to help us by joining us on Patreon, which we will talk more about here in a second.
Yes. So
how's it going?
It's going well. How was your weekend?
My weekend was full of work.
Work. You see me happy? You see me do me? So me put in. Yeah.
So Saturday, I was working from sun up to damn near sundown. Mm-hmm. 2 events that we had to do: a prom party and a baby shower.
Come on, baby shower.
Sunday was very chill. I came over here to put together furniture, went to a cute little lunch across the street, went home, watched Your Honor. Have you watched that on Showtime? Good show. I think you should watch it. You will like it. Watched a couple of episodes of Your Honor and just relaxed.
Nice.
The weekends are never long enough, and they really don't feel long enough when I be working. I'm like, okay, bitch, where the fuck is my weekend?
Mm-hmm. You don't have one. No.
How was your weekend?
My weekend was great. Honestly, it was relaxing. I was out of town, but I didn't feel like drained. You know, sometimes you go away and you're like, do a bunch of shit, and then you come back and you don't feel like you had a weekend. Mm-hmm. I feel like I was able to relax. I was able to rest.
Release and rest.
Yeah, relax and recharged. I was in Arizona with my honey and a group of friends, and We were just on the water and kicking it and eating good and laughing good and drinking good and smoking good and shrooming good and the whole bit. The whole bit. So it was a good time.
Good.
Yeah. Why not? It was a good time. I actually made a little mushroom tea tonic, which was very nice.
The tonic.
It was a tonic. It was a tonic. I was on drinks this weekend. So
did you come up with the recipe for the mushroom tea?
Yeah, I actually did.
I've heard of mushroom tea before, and I wanted to try some.
I can make you some.
I'm a mushroom advocate. I love mushrooms.
I'll make you some.
I sound like a druggie.
No, I'll make you some. I do a little mint tea or whatever your tea of choice is. I did it with ginger and turmeric tea as well, with fresh ginger. Yeah, I did. I did that. Things that I did that. So I did for myself though. I did mint. I put the mushrooms. I ground. Number one, I used one of those things, bitch, that you could make guacamole or crush herbs in.
Yeah, the pest.
Whatever that is, yeah. I actually ground them up in that.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. It was giving authentic. So I scooped them up, put them in a little diffuser, a little tea diffuser, put the hot water and the tea bag in at the same time so the flavors kind of just can marry. And then after steeping for like 10, 15 minutes, I took it out, put some lemon and some agave in there, stirred it up, and then enjoyed the evening.
That sounds amazing.
It was. And it's much easier on your digestive system. Because when you're eating that mushroom, it just kind of hurts a little bit. You can be a little nauseous. It's hard for your body.
Nauseous
At all?
Never have I been nauseous.
Oh, well, it just makes it easier. It's easier for your body to just consume, break down, and get right
like
to the fun.
It sounds like a gentle experience. Anytime you mix some shit with tea. I myself had a little bit of THC tea over the weekend.
Oh.
And I was lit.
Dead.
But a good lit. It was very nice. I was saying on to Germany earlier that I went to sleep smiling. I did. I'm like, you know what? Sometimes you just gotta be fucking high. And
yeah.
I was high and I was feeling euphoric and I was feeling good.
I'm glad you did. It was a good time.
Yeah.
So I hope I have another staycation or a vacation. Actually, I told Andres that I want to go to the Line soon.
In Koreatown.
The Line hotels in Koreatown?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I said I actually want to do a little staycation there. So let's set it up. So I'm hoping I can get another vacay.
I definitely need to go on vacation soon. Well, I'm planning to go to DC. That's one of my vacations.
When? Every time you do this, when?
Why?
When? What do you mean, why?
I don't know when yet, but I do want to go for like 2 weeks. I'm not going to start with you. I'm not going to start with you. And then I want to go somewhere tropical for sure. I don't know where yet. Like, I want to go to either Jamaica or Mexico. And yeah.
That's what I think I want to do for my birthday. Go back to Mexico City. I'm going to take like a week off. And probably go. It's a good time to go. So, what else is up?
What else is up are the ratings and the reviews. We need you all to keep coming in with the ratings and the reviews.
Coming in hot.
Please. The ratings and the reviews really help this show. They help it get visibility, help it land in the ears of other women of color who may be inspired and motivated and encouraged by the content. So we depend heavily and rely on you all to leave your ratings and reviews to help boost us up where we need to be boosted. So let's read our review of the week. This one comes from Asa Love 88. She says, "My cup runneth over. I finally wrote a review. My neck was getting sore. Period. We will continue to keep our feet on your neck.
Okay? On neck."
She said, "Now I can listen joyfully knowing that when it comes to the ratings and reviews, I came through. Thank you, ladies, for the laughter, the knowledge, the love, the sisterhood, and the thought-provoking weekly gems. I love the dynamic between the two of you. Absolutely love you guys."
Thank you. Love you too.
Thank you. Yes, we do love you too. So please keep those coming. We have a goal of 2,000. Last week we had 1,666. This week we have 1,680.
Nice. Do your part. Do your part if you want to be here. We're not going to tell you no more. It's just robbery. It's
we are
taking
going to
from
tell
us.
you, though. We are going to tell them some more.
I mean, we are, but you get what I'm saying. I don't want to keep telling y'all. Do what you need to do.
We don't want to have to keep putting the pressure on you. We just want to come here and sing your praises for doing what you were supposed to do.
That's it. That's it.
Period.
That's it.
So,
another way to support our show is by joining us over on Patreon. It's our exclusive membership community where we share bonus goodies. I see a lot of our besties are getting their mug, their merch. You guys have been tagging us with that, so super cute. Keep tagging us as you get your bestie, your bravado merchandise. We're super excited about that. We have our bonus episode this week actually coming out. We have our mid-month check-in. The playlist will be uploaded the first week of June. Why do I want it to be July so bad?
I don't know, but slow down.
I want it to be July.
I don't.
So there's a lot of goodies and great things on the horizon. So we're going to shout out our new patrons.
So for this week, we have Sharice.
Hey, Sharice.
Evelyn.
Hey, Evelyn.
And Nicole.
Hi, Nicole. Thank y'all for joining again.
Thank y'all so much. You guys are the reason why we're able to pay our rent. So
literally,
please continue to support. We appreciate you all so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so new week, new tea.
Where we kiki with you and you kiki with we.
There's been some tea this week.
All right, what's tea? What's up?
So, first of all, you saw that A$AP Rocky called Rihanna the love of his life.
The one. When you know it, you just know it.
The one. We already knew they were dating.
Mm-hmm. But I love for a nigga to give her the flowers. I love for a nigga to give flowers.
It was confirmed by him saying, somebody said, so is Rihanna going to come out and say something? Because, you know, she don't be claiming these niggas.
She probably won't.
She don't be claiming them. Claim her.
She claimed that Prince. She did claim that. What? No, she was like, she was claiming him.
She came out publicly and claimed
him? She did, in a magazine.
Photographed?
No.
Oh, she said she wants to have kids.
Yes.
And something else.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she ain't claimed a black man.
Oh my God! Probably since that Chris Brown
incident. She claimed that
billionaire
dick, but she didn't claim Drake. Who else she dated after
Chris
that?
Brown.
She was claiming him.
Oh well,
until he cut up.
I mean, that's the only person that I know she dated, right?
Only Drake, Chris Brown, and now in the billionaire, and now A$AP Rocky. That's the only people she's been tied to.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's somebody, but I don't know.
The exclusive pussy.
Yeah.
One thing she's not being is passed around.
The pass around.
I don't know who else she's been linked to. I think that's it because she's a long LTR type of mommy, it seems like. So now she's with A$AP Rocky. He seems to love it here. Love it there. Not here. He ain't over here. He over there.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know. I feel like she may put the handcuffs on him.
Your Honor.
Once he puts the handcuffs on her.
Those are the only people Travis Scott.
Huh?
She was tied to Travis Scott. He's the one who helped her with the anti album.
They were a couple?
Yes.
Oh, that went over my head.
Come on, no. And Matt Kemp for a short while.
Oh, the baseball player.
Yes, and Shia LaBeouf.
Right. Okay, yeah, you're very right.
She was tied to Shia LaBeouf as well.
Right. I remember that.
You don't remember her and Travis Scott?
I remember her and Matt Kemp because I'm like, he was fine as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
No, I never knew that her and Travis were a ting.
Yeah, they were. They really were.
Okay.
That's when the whole anti in 2015.
Well, he did what needed to be done with that anti.
Yeah, he did. He helped her with that. Yeah.
What's his name? Future. He is such a bitter ass Scorpio.
What happened? That's how they be. That's how they be. They really do.
Hey, lady, stay the fuck away.
What happened?
He comes up with a song and he was like, tell Steve Harvey I don't want her.
What?
It's like, Future, grow the fuck up.
That's also
she don't
disrespectful.
Want you, and she don't want you. She has moved on to bigger and better with Michael Bay Jordan. Talking about, and you know what? I just feel like it's very disrespectful and tacky. You have your whole new girlfriend and you on songs talking about tell Steve Harvey I don't want her. And then he said, tell Daz that's his new girl to make me some top ramen or some noodles.
What? I don't get it. It's tacky. It's tacky and tasteless.
It's like, at this point, you don't need to tell Steve Harvey a goddamn thing.
We know Future ain't no good.
And you're too old, Future.
We know
He's
Future
too
is
old.
Ghetto.
Talking about tell Steve Harvey I don't want her.
Bye.
As
Bye,
soon as I saw that, I'm like, that's typical
Future.
Scorpio shit.
It's typical Future, too.
Who's a
Scorpio.
Model Scorpio.
But he's a sick motherfucker.
They all are.
They are. I'm not here to argue.
They all are.
I'm not here to argue.
Also, I saw on the news that on June 15th, California is dropping all of its capacity limits. That means no social distancing. No.
Dead at the small, slight laugh.
What?
They were like, no social distancing.
No social distancing.
Mm-hmm.
No limited capacity, bitch. We're going all the way in. How do you feel about that?
I feel okay about it.
Are you nervous, anxious?
Nope, not one bit. I'm ready.
Same.
I'm ready. I'm not even gonna lie and say I'm not.
I've been ready.
I've been ready. I don't have any anxiety about being outside because honestly, truly, I've been outdoors. I've been outdoors to some like capacity. Although it hasn't been like full balls to the wall, baby, I've been there. As long as y'all letting me in, I'm coming. That's how I've been rocking for the last few months. So I'm excited to get back to whatever normal is going to look like going forward.
Well, it's going to look like normal because there ain't going to be no capacity limits now.
I mean, as long as they don't get to asking for no vaccination shit.
Well, some places are going to ask for either vaccination card
or negative COVID.
What the fuck? Or a negative COVID test.
I'm coming with a negative test all day.
Yeah, test me.
Test me, okay? Put the handcuffs on me, Your Honor.
But I don't have any anxiety about outside being open at all. Open it and I will be there.
I'll be outside. I'm ready.
Open it and I will be there.
Honestly, when I was out in Arizona this past weekend, you could already go into the stores without your mask.
Oh, you know Arizona been ahead of the curve.
They were like, if you're fully vaccinated, you can come in without a mask.
But the thing is, how do they know?
They don't know.
They're just leaving it up to God.
Yeah. In his hands, in his palm.
We
was all up in there with no mask, talking about, vaxxed up, ready to act up vibes.
Y'all said that?
No, but that's how we was acting.
Oh, I'm like the saying of that.
That's how we were acting.
I forgot what I was going to say. But yeah, California is open, and I know some people have anxiety, but I'm not one of those people. So we're going to see what happens. I can already tell that the summer is going to be live and direct because it has already been live and it has already been direct.
Yeah, flyers are already floating, talking about we outside, like parties that say we outside. I'm like, okay, we're ready. The theme party.
That's the post-pandemic. We outside?
Yeah, we outside. The post-pandemic parties. We're ready, baby. We got robbed last year, so we're ready to take back everything the devil stole.
What I need to do is knock the dust off of me. Because I was dancing in the mirror the other day and I hit a move. I said, now what the fuck
are you do, Dougie?
No, not the Dougie. That always is sturdy. I did something that looked weird. And I said, you cannot do that shit in public. I don't know what it was, but it looked stupid.
They're practicing the moves.
I wasn't even practicing. I was just listening to music, dancing. And, sometimes you do something. Yeah. And I was like, ugh.
Not that one.
That is stupid.
Not that one.
But. What?
What sent me a meme?
The reference.
Y'all, that is funny. It says, when the homie had me as a reference. And then it's Tupac on the phone with a joint talking about, yes, he was a star.
Tupac, that's Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg. Goddamn, what am I talking about? Yes, he was a star employee.
Right.
It's funny. We'll put it on the story.
I'll gas you up every time.
You can watch it.
Speaking of watching, would you be watching the Soulja Boy versus Bow Wow versus?
You know what? I just seen today that this is official.
It's official.
I was under the radar, so I missed it. So when is it happening?
They haven't set a date yet, but they gonna have to wrap these verses up because, like
it's
we just said, we
outside.
Ain't nobody got time to be sitting in front of a phone.
It's going down, but
hopefully this is on a day where I'm not doing anything because Soulja Boy and Bow Wow, what a motherfucking time to be alive.
And what an error.
I was
kiss me through the phone.
Bro, somebody had received something on Instagram. They was posting a video of a gift or something they got, and they had "Thank You" playing in the background, playing as a music.
What's the gift? Wait, thank you.
I wanna thank you for making me who I am, putting me where I need to be, for the opportunity to do my thing in this industry. That was so Bootsy, like Bow Wow. Stop.
He was young though. He was very young. I'm excited. Okay, who do you have? Soulja Boy or Bow Wow? Hashtag Bow Wow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to take it. I'm gonna have to get there.
I was Shaw Moss's wife.
Yeah.
Remember?
Everybody
all,
loved Bow Wow.
Yeah. Shad
Everybody
Gregory Moss. To be
Everybody
exact.
loved
I knew
Bow
his
Wow.
birthday. I think his birthday is March 9th
Is it?
or something.
Every young girl loved Bow Wow. It's gonna be exciting. I'm Team Bow Wow.
Soulja Boy was never like the nigga that I loved, but he definitely had some Crank That and all that other stuff.
And to be completely honest, we were much older
by the time Soulja came out. Yeah, we didn't have on rose colored.
We were way older, like 17, 18. Yeah.
17, 18?
I was already dating somebody. I was already like 18.
Don't say dating because you were dating somebody in the 4th grade.
You're right. I actually, maybe it was a little bit younger, a tad bit. I remember maybe I was a little bit younger. I don't know.
We weren't in the 12th grade.
Like 18. I feel like it was the summer before turning 18.
It was the summer 2001.
Before
the drama begun. When we first met.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see you broke down looking a mess. What did he say?
You was broke down crying a mess.
So I interfered.
I asked what's the reason for tears. But I'll start with your name.
What's the reason for tears?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going Team Bow Wow for sure.
Team Bow Wow. We're going to tap in and let y'all know.
Because that really takes me back to Scream tours. Like,
yes. Girl, I remember that.
I said, little Bow Wow.
You just don't know the way you move so fast across the floor. I mean, you run through my mind like all the time to the point where I just want to take you home. Okay, now remember, there was a little photo in the album
cover,
folded up.
The green when he had on the white.
It was actually Beware of the Dog. I think he did it for
both.
Both albums. That's to say, maybe it was done multiple albums.
The green one, I remember he looked fine as fuck. And
you just open that up and then a poster. Boop. You know that was all the rage.
The word up.
Yeah, all the rage.
Yeah.
Ooh, child.
Yeah.
Bow Wow was a mood.
In a vibe.
Big mood.
Yeah. I wanted to fuck him as a child.
No, you did not. Don't say that. You did not want to fuck. You just wanted to be his boo-boo.
Touch. Yeah.
You didn't even know what.
No, I didn't. But I was attracted.
You just liked him.
I was attracted to him.
Lil Wayne was my boo-boo. He really was. But I also had a boyfriend named Wayne. And it was just my way of putting the posters up on the wall and being like,
You know who was my boo that I'm ashamed to admit?
Lil Zane? What glove, Lil Zane?
No, he was cute.
Who?
What happened to him?
I don't know.
Cisco.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Cisco. And my papa was like, you got that gay man on your wall? I'm like, hey.
The Cisco.
I loved him.
Remember that song? She was eating a banana. I was looking at her, thinking she free gay. Well, that was Cisco. See, you probably wasn't on that.
No,
Cisco.
I remember that song, but that was Cisco?
Yeah. We're going to play it in the car headed home.
Okay.
So what else is tea?
Lastly, Nick Cannon. We were talking about Future. Nick Cannon is now being called Future in a turban. Because he has all these kids.
Oh, Lord.
Is he polyamorous? Like, what is going on?
That's what I hear.
He's actively
poly or like open relationship. Yeah.
He has his 7th child on the way. By one of
they've all been born like in the last 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah. Well, he had
with the exception of the twins with Mariah.
But he has like a 5-month-old, another set of twins.
All of them, girl. I can't even keep up with them. All these kids.
And and people are like, yeah, he can afford them. Okay, I get it. But at the same goddamn time, why are you making me a single parent? Because you can't be with all these kids at the same goddamn time.
But they're okay with it. The women are okay with it.
Obviously.
Because they know what's popping. Brandon Whip just hopped in. So what the fuck?
Well, I'm going to need a nanny to be allotted into the child.
I'm pretty sure he probably gets them what they need.
Okay, well.
Needs are met.
If they like it, I love it. But damn. I'm like, okay. Nick Cannon.
It's sick all around. It's sick all across the board. Sick across the board.
0 out of 10 wouldn't recommend. So, yeah, that's the tea for this week.
That's the tea. That's that.
What else we got going on?
Last week's episode, We actually wrapped up our Moms Making It Happen series, and we chatted with our good homegirls of Good Moms, Bad Choices, Erica and Mila.
Mm-hmm.
We're basically just talking to them about being sex positive can moms. Um, they really just were vulnerable with us, sharing their story and motherhood, and being the honest homegirls that we love. Thank y'all for not sugarcoating the shit that is sometimes raggedy. So we appreciate that, honestly,
Yeah.
truly, because as women without kids, it's nice to chat with women who have kids and just hear the honest stories, because sometimes we don't see that.
We don't.
So yeah, we love
Always
it.
appreciative of the ones who keep it real.
Two Virgils.
So, before we get into our new series, we're going to have today's episode, which is an episode with Bri Hall.
Hey, Bri.
This was a great conversation. Bri is a YouTuber, content creator. She's a motivational speaker, health and wellness advocate. She's all of the things. And in this episode, we specifically talk about being a content creator and how that has affected her life.
Yeah, pros and cons of being an influencer, or like you said, a content creator, how it impacts mental health and wellness. It was a really great conversation. So if you've ever been inspired or wanted to be an influencer, this is definitely something that you want to listen to. Bri drops tons of gems about the platform and the medium that she has.
For sure. So let's just get right into it.
Yeah, let's go.
Hi, we are reporting live.
So,
Just kidding. Hey, y'all. So today we're here with Bri Hall. Hey, Bri.
Hey y'all, I'm so happy to be here.
yeah,
We're so happy to have you. So let's give Bri a brief intro. She's a makeup artist, an influencer, content creator, Black beauty advocate, skincare guru, philanthropist. She's everything. She does it
is.
all.
Yeah.
So
Podcast host.
yes, we're so excited to have
Yes.
Bri here with us to talk all things influencing in mental health.
Yeah.
So Bri, welcome to the show. Thank you for chatting with us today.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for having me. And you know that wonderful introduction. I feel like a Jill of all trades.
You are doing all of this. Let our audience know more about yourself and how you got here, your journey.
Oh, absolutely. So my journey is both intentional and accidental. I would say so. I would say I've been recording and documenting things since I was a child, actually. So, my mom got me back in the day when the Barbie video camera first came out. I couldn't
Oh,
get into
yes.
that thing. I was like, I'm gonna have a cooking show, then I'm gonna have an art show, then I'm gonna have a show, you know. And I think that's kind of where things started. I was always fascinated with. I think the general theme of things I enjoy is taking something that is mundane or average or just something you'd see in everyday life and turning it into something extraordinary. And I used to not be able to attribute all of the things I'm interested in into like one umbrella, but I think that's the closest thing. So, you know, I started out writing, you know, poetry and doing art. I went to performing arts middle school, all that good stuff. And of course, you know, Jamaican mother said, "Oh, all right, for high school, when they start looking at your grades and everything, you don't have to do that STEM, girl." So then I ended up going to like magnet STEM program, but was still sneaking and doing all my art stuff. And where it all started for me was I started having, which I think, you know, we talk more about today, but artist block. And so I hosted a request contest on Facebook where I asked people like, hey, comment what you want to see me draw or paint, and the one that gets the most likes by the end of Saturday night, Sunday morning, I'll have a speed portrait up for y'all.
Wow.
That I would literally film and edit in that little period of time.
Wow.
Nothing.
And yeah, and then that contest got so big on Facebook that I started getting a lot of strangers and stuff requesting me from other schools and other states. I was like, I need a way to show this in a way that's not compromising my personal Facebook page anymore. So I made a YouTube channel. Because at that time, YouTube was really, you know, just beginning to bud and starting to have more diverse things. So then those drawings started going a little more viral. And I was like, who are you people? Like the Patrick on SpongeBob.
Yeah.
And it was going viral, and I hadn't shown my face. I was just doing speed portraits with my hands. So then finally, I turned 18 and was like, all right, I'm gonna show my face since my mom can't tell me I can't do this.
Cute.
Oh, that's cute. The reveal, the her.
Yeah, I was gonna say the her. I feel like that really works. We should have took that approach. Not letting anybody see the bitches' faces, and then this is who it was the whole time.
And don't listen to me, kids. Look, I was one of those kids where I would just go, like, if it was something I knew wasn't super threatening, I would just go do it and then be like, oh, it's too late now.
Yeah.
And I'll find out, like, oh, it's too late.
That's me.
The piercing's already there. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, all the tattoos.
The tattoos already there. Like,
it's done.
like, is that another one?
Like,
Exactly.
Okay, you're doing what you want to do.
They make cover up makeup now if I need to.
Right, right.
I plan on it, but so yeah, I finally decided, all right, I'm gonna show my face, and I had just gone natural at that time, so people were like, "Girl, drop the hair routine, drop the skincare, the makeup." So I was like, "Ooh, let me make a separate channel." So I was just gonna make one hair video and make that like the go-to where I just drop the link when people ask. But then that video got so many requests going forward, so I was like, "Oh, I'll just fulfill this one." And I wasn't taking it seriously, but then after a while I started realizing I actually enjoy the hair and makeup content as well. It's another form of art to me. And yeah, then the rest is kind of history from there, y'all. Like,
and people be dying to get big on YouTube, and you just did it. Like, they die to build a following. I mean, I've never started a YouTube channel, but that's like the podcasting world now. Like, everybody had a YouTube
I tried.
channel. Yeah.
I had one video that got 50,000 views. I was like, I'm on my fucking way. I'm on my way.
I know the one it was. It was the two braids
The wash
video.
and go. No, it was a wash and go.
The two braids got a lot
wash
of.
and go.
Yeah.
Oh, you fumbled the bag. Like, the wash and go went viral.
But you know what happened? Let me tell you. Let me tell you what happened. I got kind of discouraged because I had finally reached the point where you can monetize, right? But I had copyrighted music because I had Mr. Easy on there.
Really?
And they told me I wasn't going to make any coin from it because I had that song. And I'm like, this fucked me up. So I said, you know what? Fuck it. Fuck YouTube. Fuck this. And some of the videos, I was pumped off of those 50,000 views. So I was like, let me do another video of my favorite products. That one didn't go too well. I said, forget it.
I can't. It's so hard.
Yes.
It's the algorithm.
Yeah.
Oh.
And they don't like what you experience is real, because when I started out, I was real alternative on YouTube, using all the little SoundCloud mashups and all that. And then it'd be an unsigned artist, right? No copyright. And then I'm getting notifications like 3-4 years after the video, like, hey, we're going to stop monetizing this now because they're signed to Atlantic, or they're signed to Universal now. So yeah, no more money for you. And I'm just like, I don't think it should be like that if it wasn't copywritten when I used it. Like, period.
And once it's all like fused together, you can't separate it, huh?
You would have to re-upload the video. Yeah. And then you won't have all those views.
It's not worth it.
I might re-upload some of my content. I'm not even gonna lie. But like, well, no. I feel like that's the authenticity of the video too, like the sound. But luckily, I don't think they stripped the sound off any of mine, because that's the ones where I'd be like,
yeah,
y'all ain't have to do me like that.
Right.
That is
it takes
now
a
they
lot.
just take the revenue.
Yeah. When they said they were taking the revenue, I was shook. I said, this isn't the space for me, because I can't be making original content, original beats. Like, I can't.
I was like, you were making beats?
No,
but you couldn't be.
I couldn't be. I was having Jeff send me his beats, but it hits different when it's like a popular song. It was just craziness. It was crazy.
Yeah. But some influencers and stuff do that as a tactic, right? So they will, like, I notice. I'll give you one example. Elle Mills on YouTube, she will use like in one video like 3-4 copywritten songs, and you'll see the copyrights all in the little drop down. But she knows that certain things will go viral. So some YouTubers will like let a video or two slide to grow their audience, and then use non-copyrighted stuff like the next 3-4 videos. Or another thing people do is they'll like start a Patreon. So like, hey, I want to keep making content in the way that feels authentic to me. And since YouTube's probably going to demonetize it, especially when people want to, curse, and I mean, you can still get monetized with cursing, but like, you know, do talk about dark topics or sensitive content or whatever. People will do like a Patreon and be like, hey, if y'all want more content like this,
Come on over to Patreon.
Join me over there.
come over and just drop some coins and support me, you know?
Okay, that's a cheat code. Use the
That's
popular music, go viral, and then switch it up.
Yeah, you have to learn some
And then
tactics
switch
these days, but I feel like the algorithm might.
Still fuck you.
So speaking of the algorithm, like, do you ever get discouraged from content creating with the algorithm? Because I know, like, there was this whole thing where a lot of the super big YouTubers, like, their whole world got shook. And if that's your form of living, you know, that's your check. How has that ever affected you? And if so, like, how did you deal with that?
Oh, all the time. All the time. You know, what I say all the time is people will say, oh, don't care what people think. Don't care about the views. Don't care about the... I am human. And I think everybody that makes this content, I mean, I think I know, unless they aliens, that's a whole nother topic to get into. But like, no, they're human, right? And so literally, I think that it's almost impossible not to care about that kind of stuff. And also a lot of brands and things that want to work with you look at your engagement consistency. I actually just spoke about this on my video I dropped yesterday, like how sometimes there's so much pressure to stay in a box on social media where the algorithm just dumps you out of the algorithm if you do something even remotely different from your usual content or anything different. And I told them, I was like, hey, one thing I realized is the new community will come. You know, it may not be the same size. It may be bigger. We never know. But I said, misery is living in a box that doesn't represent you in totality, right? So I say, yeah, sure, you might lose views, you might lose followers, you might lose all these things when you switch up the program a little bit or you do more of what you enjoy. But I told people, I said, it's not just a loss game. You're attracting the audience that best fits you, because there might be people out there looking for the things that you want to create but are too scared to because of the thoughts of the algorithm. And that you might have been everything they've been needing, you know? So I've been trying to think about it more in that lens.
Yeah, I think that's great advice. You know, personally, when the algorithm is down, we're small fish. Okay, we're very small fish. So when the algorithm gets the fucking shit up, we're like, whoa. There's nothing being posted because the interaction, the engagement is not there. And honestly, it sort of like weighs on our, I don't want to say self-worth, but it makes us feel shitty, you know, like
your confidence.
The confidence goes down. When this happens to you, do you feel like it weighs on your mental health, or you're just like, okay, off the shoulder, we just gonna try again tomorrow?
Oh, absolutely it weighs on me because my biggest thing, I've ranted about this before, even to my audience, and my audience will rant about it as well. Even like not getting notified is a big issue that I've dealt with, where like people be like, yo, I've been subscribed to you since 2015 and I didn't get notifications for 3 months. Like I thought you were taking a break and you weren't. And I'd be ready. Luckily my followers and stuff would be ready to square up with me, and they'd be at like YouTube headquarters virtually, like, excuse me.
We need the content.
So I think that always helps. Yeah, like I don't feel alone in the process, because my followers definitely feel the same frustration because they want to see it. And I think my biggest frustration be like, hey, I worked really hard to, you know, create content and I've got all my subscribers organically. I said, as much as I want to collab and do all these things, I was living in an area before this where there wasn't a lot of YouTubers, you know, so collabs weren't very much an option for me. I wasn't in a big, huge city. So I got here pretty much with no cosigns, no nothing. So I said, I don't care about new engagement, you know, like, sure, that would be great. But I was like, I just want the audience that I've earned, that who's like literally taking the time out to press subscribe to just get their notification. If they choose not to watch, that's their prerogative. Right. Like, that's like the bare minimum. So that'd be weighing on me, like, oh, I spent hours on this and the people that want to see it aren't getting the newsletter, girl. Like,
yeah. Don't play with me. I'm sitting up here. I've spent all these hours into this. I need people to get the shit.
Period. Okay.
Like, what is happening?
That's how we be feeling, like all that.
Like that. I put a meme up of a dude in a ski mask with his fingertips pressed together, and I said, I literally put on my community page, we're getting to this milli one way or another, and everybody was just on board. They got what I meant. I said, one way or another, we getting there.
Period.
Mob mentality.
Mob mentality, for real.
Taking it down.
This is the gang, the family. Like, we about to be out here.
Yes. So you've been doing this for years. You have 787 YouTube subscribers, hundreds of thousands on Instagram. Do you ever feel like anxious about possibly running out of ideas or content? Because I know when we were doing this podcast, I'm like, I didn't foresee having this many episodes. I'm like, whenever we do our little 20 episodes or whatever, I didn't even have a number, but I just didn't imagine it being 180, whatever it is right now. And every time we keep coming with an episode, I'm like, bitch, I'm shook and surprised.
And then I point up and I'm like, it's only by his grace.
I'm surprised that the ideas keep coming and flowing. So, like, do you ever feel like you have a creative block, or do you ever get nervous or anxious about being creative and constantly coming up with new, exciting, fresh ideas?
Ooh, I definitely do go through creative blocks, but I'm very self-aware, right? So I know that these creative blocks only come when I'm trying to please people. You know what I mean? Or when I'm trying to, when I care too much about, again, like the numbers, the engagement, all these things, and I forget to continue being human, right? So when I tap out of my humility, my humanity, and I think of myself as an influencer, that's when shit just hits the fan. And I started thinking, and that's why I think this going to be some candid shit, but like influencers at the top of their game start stealing. I think that's why that happens, because they stop being human after a while and they become these machines. So I think it's important to make sure that you are present when you're at your 9 to 5, or when you are at the park, or when you're at the grocery store. Be present in all those moments. Stay in touch with your social circles, because life is the biggest influencer, right? I have new experiences every day, and that's something new to think about or talk about. And I notice when I lose touch with myself, that's when I get afraid of not having ideas. But then I go back in my journal, and I said journaling helps me a lot too, where I can reflect on both my day, what's going on in the world, and just staying up to date with reading and all these new things. There's a million things I want to do that I haven't done. And I said, so that should be all the topics that I have left to talk about.
Bitches need to write down some shit.
Yes.
We keep saying we need to journal some more.
I know. Today it dawned on me. I said, no, Brittany, you really need to get into your practices. Like actually doing the shadow work that we're talking about. Daily devotional, listening to the Abraham Hicks, whatever it is, I need to actually
tap
do it
into
consistently. But you said something, Bri, that stuck out. You said like staying in contact with your social circles. How have you maintained like your friendships that probably have seen a shift with your new like lifestyle, I guess? Because I see a lot of influencers, and I think to myself, I'm like, where were your friends before you were an influencer? Like, I don't know if it's just for social media that you only post your influencer friends, but I be thinking, this looks fake as fuck. Like, you're mean to tell me you don't have one friend that you still gang with in the midst of all this. Like, your only friends are influencers now? Like, how does that work for you?
See, I have the opposite problem. I was like, dang, I just want now. Of course, now I have some, but I was like, dang, I just want like at least one ride or die influencer friend, just so I can relate on some stuff.
Yeah.
My issue is like every time I'm like, yes, I got new, like even more cool friends and da da da. They always be in other professions. Like they're still artists in some way, mind you, but like for example, I just had a beautiful little dinner. And I realized, oh crap, everybody here is like a writer, like, like they write scripts or they do, other things. And I'm like, dang, I mean, y'all are influential as hell though. But like, yeah. I've always wanted to like, meet up with just another YouTuber and like feel that. But I'm very big on authenticity.
Yeah.
So I'm also not a social climber, right? If I was a social climber, I told people I'd have fake pranks on my channel. You know what I mean? I do like the
popular little shit.
This is a real life experience. I was chilling with some influencers a long time ago, and I remember somebody stopped me and said, "Hey, girl, hold on. So and so about to do a lyric prank on me. So I need to." And I was like, "Wait, aren't those supposed to be like? Aren't you not supposed to know?" And she's like, "Girl, them Jones be fake." I was like, "Oh, alrighty then." So yeah, I was like, there are a lot of ways I could have been at 1 million followers by now, or posting people. But I feel like whoever you post is a reflection on yourself, and um, yeah, I've posted to just a select few people, but some of them I've been talking to virtually for years before we even met, and then the day we met, it's just like, oh, like a casual little story moment or something. But yeah, I still have like all my friends still 10 toes down. Of course, there was a few people that like. It's weird. I haven't changed very much as a person. I've set more firm boundaries, but my personality at its core, of course, I've matured, but it's pretty much the same according to like the people that I'm cool with from like 10 years ago, etc. But I noticed that some people around you are going to change in relation to your following, and I think that's something I wasn't prepared for, is other people changing around me that treating me different. That's something I don't think anyone's truly prepared for.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the hardest things. Like, I had to go through a friendship breakup, like a childhood friendship breakup, and I think that's kind of everybody's kind of going through that. But that hurts.
Was that
it's worse than a romantic one?
That friendship breakup, the catalyst of it was like you like stepping into this influencer world?
Damn.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is, they would tell me, this thing has like changed you, and you don't have time for your friends no more. And I had to say to the person, like, hey, you're literally, and I mean no disrespect, you're the only friend who's told me this. You know what I'm saying? So can you give me some examples? I'm always trying to commit to growth. So I was like, can you give me some examples that I can reference? You know what I mean?
I need examples.
Period. That's how I am. Let a bitch know
Let
when
me
she's
know
falling short.
Yes.
Pop open the briefcase, because I was like, this is something I
Receipts.
genuinely don't see it, and I frankly I didn't agree, because I was like, this is something I'm actually like having other people commend. So I'm like, okay, wait, I'm a little, and I've had to point out to them like, hey, there are some things about me that are changing now that I'm an adult. And I think that adulthood was getting confused with influencing, right? I said, I can't be pulling up, with the hour's notice anymore. I do, like I said, like, I respect your schedule the same way. Like, we got to schedule things out a little more in advance. I said, I mean, if I'm in your neighborhood and I just want to pop by, that's different. But like, every time that I missed something, I looked back, like, y'all know, I be trying to like make sure, let me see if I was wrong first.
Before I get on your head.
Go on the attack.
Right.
Before I start getting petty.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I went through so many text messages. I'm like, dang, every time we tried to meet up, I was honoring a commitment that somebody else and I had scheduled days, weeks, months in advance, right? I had a family member having surgery and was like, no, girl, I can't go out, but you're more than welcome to come to the family house because they love you.
Period.
So
Pull up.
come on by. They didn't pull up, and those were days. And then I went on a vacation, and they're like, see, that you were fake because you didn't do this. And I'm like, but I had that vacation planned 4 months in advance. So
Right.
that's what I'll be saying. I say, girl, I always make time.
Right.
Period.
But I'm big on that. So I think that's been one of the issues, is just like, people will change around you. And I was like, yo, I'm not going to be made to be something that I'm not.
Right.
That I know I'm not, because I told her, I was like, bruh, there are people that live 3 times as far as you from me that I've seen 3 times as much as you.
And that be the T.
So
You got to remind they asses, like, hold on, you're not being a great friend to me. I've gone through a friendship breakup myself with a close childhood friend, and it still is difficult to this day because, you don't really see yourself not being in relationship with these people, and it fucking sucks. And it is even harder being the person who's doing a lot of the giving, and then the other person just doesn't reciprocate. And it's just a tough feeling. So I definitely feel where you're coming from, because girl, these bitches be getting out of line, and then I'll be right there to get them back together.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask, like, did you notice, was their absence overwhelming? Because I saw a tweet recently where they said, have any of y'all basically had a breakup with a best friend and realized you never had a best friend? And I was like, oh,
Now that was tea. Okay, so if we gonna get into it, let's get into it. Yes. Yes. No. Because we were childhood friends. You already know, you know, we grew up together. So I feel like as you mature, the relationship changes and everyone has to equally put in the effort. The relationship literally will not thrive if both parties are not actively putting in energy, right? So I felt like best friend had just become the title because the work, it wasn't being done. It was just me, like I'm pulling up. Her life became starkly different from mine. She became a mother. She became a wife. I was still a single woman, no children, and our lives were different, but I was always finding ways to compensate and make myself available. Like, girl, I'll pull up on you. I'll be there with you and the kids. I'll take the kids so you can go out with your husband. Just making myself, you know, a resource to her because that's how I am in my friendship. You feel me? That's how I am in my friendships.
Right.
And there were so many times where I would just be asking for support, like pull up to this if you want to, not even any pressure. And when I would ask for her to be accountable when she didn't do those things, it was like, these are her words, I'm feeling attacked and I cannot, I don't want to justify the place that I am in my life anymore, and just not taking accountability for not honoring the commitment, you know, and not being a good friend. And that, like a few years back, it's already been almost 2 years that we haven't spoken. I was like, you know what? This is more painful for me to be in it because I'm a very emotional person and relationships are very important to me. And it was like dragging me by my labia. And I'm like, I don't want to be dragged. I just don't want to be pulled by my labia anymore. And I'm just going to have to respectfully bow out because I need these lips. I actually need them. So, you know, it's been what it's going to be. And if the Lord sees fit to bring us back together, then we'll see what's popping. But until then,
protect your space.
Peace is being protected. Okay, peace is being protected.
Protect your peace, queen.
But
yes,
on to something else. I'm talking about my coochie lips. So, Bri, you are an influencer, right? What does influencing mean to you? Like, we had a conversation with another influencer, and she was like, I really hate the word.
Lowe's has more of what trade pros like you need to get the job done. That means more delivery options, more convenient hours to fit your schedule, and more savings to fit your budget. More of the brands you trust the most. More of everything you need, all in one place. That's why, in the past year, more electricians, landscapers, painters, plumbers, and other pros helped make Lowe's the new home for trade pros. U.S. only.
Influencer, like that's the easiest way to label it, but she's like, I'm a content creator, and I'm like, girl, you are.
Yeah.
So like, how do you feel about like the term influencer, and like what does that mean to you?
I feel like it's corny. Well, because I feel like, all right, I be on my high horse a little bit because I am an artist first. I think that's literally, I don't even know. I used to even say the same thing. I think that was like the rule of thumb thing a lot of people say that's been in the space a while. But I'm like, nah, I don't even feel like I'm a content creator or curator. I feel like I'm an artist. And the reason I say
and
that
I'm sensitive about my shit.
Period.
Period. It's because the thing I acknowledge is art is something that's been with me since I was 2 years old. And the reason I feel different, I feel like there are people that's in this space for the money. There are people that's in it for free stuff and clout and all these things. And there are people that once the numbers drop and slip and things like that, they're going to just stop. You know what I mean? They're going to go to work a different job and the creating is done. It's never done for me. Like this runs through my veins.
Bars.
This is something that has gotten me through all of like hardship, everything. When no one was looking, this is what I was doing. So now that people are looking, that's not changing very much for me. So that's like that's why I'm sensitive about my shit too. Because when I see like a concept, like I remember when I was just coming up too, I see some of my concepts with big creators on their page, and they're things like I'm one of those make it work type of people too. So like if I ain't have the fancy camera yet, or the fancy lighting, or the editing stuff, whatever, I was going to make shit shake with what I had on hand. So
Right.
I even remember like the first big incident of being like copied as an influencer too was like I was doing this lipstick video, and I was an RA in college at the time. I was like, you know what? I don't have no fancy editing software to do the transitions I want, so I have solo cups. You know, for when we have little parties. And,
Yeah, the red cup.
Some guests over, whatever. Yes. So I had the actually no, my solo cups. I think it was blue.
Okay,
right?
The crib
So-
kind, the crib low cups, girl.
Oh my, the low cups.
Yeah.
So I literally was like I had this idea again because like when you're just a naturally creative person, you just start things come to mind when you touch an object. It's like, all right, I think I know what I'm gonna do. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna drop the lipsticks in the cup, pretend to take a sip, and then my lip color is gonna change.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
you are
that's real.
correct.
Growing and doing all stuff.
Creator.
And then I saw a influencer, creator, whatever, with 1 million followers do a sponsored video with a blue solo cup doing that exact transition throughout the video. And I'm sitting here like, that's when I get sensitive. When I do something that
Super
was
original.
it was out of poverty and it was out of getting creative with what I had on hand. And you over here in a mansion taking this concept and people are like, oh, this is so creative, this is that. And you got the same color cups and everything. And I'm just like, yo, like, I didn't have what you have. So this is where that idea was born.
Right.
So then it feels extra like, ooh, I'm about to, but that's how I know I'm not going to run out of ideas, y'all, because I haven't yet. And
You won't.
I said, but one thing I said, the blueprint, will never run out of things to create.
Period.
I said, it's the people that be taking concepts that's going to be in trouble when they get blocked.
Yeah, because you know what? That's very true because people, if you're constantly looking for something to copy, once you don't have anybody to copy off anymore, then you're going to be stuck between a rock and a hard place. Like, I don't have anybody to pull my content off of.
Yeah.
So,
And the audience going to be confused. Girl, what happened to your shit? It
Yeah.
used to be so popping.
yeah, I got caught. I got caught. That's what happened. I was watching a video the other day about like, it was Jackie Aina, about the common
Yes.
misperceptions of influencers or content creators. Like I found myself being guilty because in the past I've seen people that have large followings and they have brand deals and I automatically assume big bag. They must have it. They have the numbers, they have the partnerships. But that's not always the case. So what are some common misperceptions that you want to shut the fuck down about being in the space that you're in?
Ooh, there's so many. The number one thing, this might sound kind of obvious, like I said earlier, but we are human beings with, like I said, sometimes I just want to come on I actually had this real idea, y'all, this week. I was like, what if I come on my channel with my little, like, I have the little clip-on finger thing that shows your heart rate. I'd be like, maybe some of y'all ain't know. There's a beat.
There's a beat.
in here,
There's
like,
a heartbeat.
I'm sensitive, but no, I'm just kidding. Like, literally, I think that's something that's a misconception. And I saw this quote somewhere, and I forget where I saw it. I'm so mad. Like, but it was like, the more fame you acquire, the less humility people see in you.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's so true, because I've gone through that thing where friends or family will, of course, I got on all the cases, like, don't you do that.
Right.
But will stop hitting you up and be like, oh, I just assumed you were busy, or I didn't invite you because I assumed you were busy. Or when I've had this big issue, this gets to me, y'all. I'm not even gonna cap right now. The thing that really, like, makes me so fucking mad is when I won't hear from somebody for months that I was actually pretty cool with, and it's just like, I feel bad, but I just anticipate it already. And it's like, hey, Bri, I just started this business. And
Can you post me? Or
I have an archive of text messages like that. Sometimes I shouldn't be sharing all my little ideas, but whatever. Sometimes I want to just take a compilation of maybe the last year or two's worth of messages and just crop people's names out. And like any super identifying, like if the business has a name, crop it out and be like, hey, this is what my text chats look like now. You know what I'm saying? It's not how are you doing?
Yeah.
And even if it is a how are you, they barely wait for me to say how I am.
Right. How you doing? Can you think you can post me on your story?
I know. That's my mama. She be waiting for somebody to blow her up.
Don't do her like that.
Not in a tea. No. You know how she gets down. She's like let's get together. Let's do what we got to do. Girl.
And then, that brings me to another misconception. Sometimes that people will literally get on, especially like black women in the influencer space or whatever, and say, "Oh, I need you to start supporting more black businesses," and they're downing them and doing all this talking crazy in their comments, right? Tell me why. A lot of people don't know that larger influencers are black businesses. So by demeaning them, you're actually not in the process of not supporting a black business. A lot of influencers have LLCs or S corps, and they're literally a black business. They file taxes as a business because of the brand deals and stuff they do. By law, it just makes the most sense.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they're not an LLC, they're a sole proprietor of their business, and the tax
Right.
is way higher. But you know, that's what I'm saying. So like,
Period.
if you like, number one, see them as human, and number two, if there's somebody you really really support, like their content is free, watch their stuff, watch the ads, do that stuff, because they literally are a black business, and they most of the time they're operating as just themselves. And if you lucky or fortunate enough, when you get big enough, you can pay an assistant a part-time or full-time salary, but most people don't have
Goals.
that, and they're doing 7 people's jobs to bring you this 3-4 minute video.
Multiple hats are being
Yes,
worn.
hella
That's
hats.
us. We be
Hella hats. And you know
Oh my
what?
gosh,
You know
stats.
what's calling out for the support is really key, because a lot of the times people are like more willing to support when you're small and kind of like on the same level as them, or not too ahead of them. But as soon as you reach the point where people say they're rooting for you to reach, the support falls off, the nasty comments start coming in. People say, you know what, this really had pissed me off. Our friend Ty over at Purple and Prosper, she makes skincare products and body products. And she sells her products online, and she also puts her products inside of retailers. And lately she's been selling out in like minutes. Retailer, she's been selling out. Super happy for her. But someone slid into her damn DMs and gonna say,
not even in the DMs, girl, in the comments. Like,
in the comments, and say, you're getting I don't remember what it said verbatim, but basically like, don't get too above yourself and forget about the people who were here from the beginning, because we can't even go get our shit from the retailers.
yeah.
Like, listen, I prayed to be here. Unfortunately, you didn't make it to the retailer in time. I am still a small business making these products by motherfucking hand. I don't know what to tell you other than pray and hope that you catch the next restock. But why, when people flip like that, it's like, if you've been here since the beginning and you see my journey, you should be happy
for
right
me.
now.
Yeah.
Like, don't knock me and try to pull me down. So everybody who's supporting us right
That's, like,
here,
another thing.
y'all better not switch up.
That's a really good point, because this is going to rub some people the wrong way. But there are more people talking about this now than ever. I said, we gonna go there.
Yeah, let's go.
Take it there.
There's a reason why famous people be killing themselves, y'all. There's a reason why a lot of famous people are drug addicts. There's a reason why a lot of your favorite YouTubers get to a certain point and they start posting every 2 months, right? It gets dark, y'all. It gets very dark. The hatred sometimes starts outweighing the love. And again, these people have beating hearts, right? Allison Stoner actually did a phenomenal video on YouTube where she's talking about how, she's now offering counsel and things to child stars, because she did the video about like the child star to train wreck industrial complex. And she speaks about how, she had to go to an audition at 5-6 years old and act out a rape and whatever scene, and be like,
Too much.
under a table crying and shaking. And then she said, as she gets in the car, she doesn't know how to regulate those emotions as a kid, and she has to be smiling girl number 400 and something for a toy commercial. Now an hour later, she's going to another audition. And that's what getting to a certain point in influence is like. You are expected to snap back and regulate yourself and put on these fake smiles and things like that on a regular daily basis. My calendar has 2 open days this month, right? So all of these days, no matter what's going on in my life, there are certain times I have to snap out of it. I have to get to the business, And so, and then the love comments, and I'm talking about the heartfelt ones in the DMs and such, start to go down a bit, because people assume you're not going to read it.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, it does get hard to get to everybody, right? But a lot of times once you get to a certain stature, people start emotionally dumping on you and just oh, Bri, like asking for money and things like that. Oh yeah.
Get out of my goddamn pockets. Get out of my pockets. Hell no.
People will be like, hey, like it'll be the first DM from someone. They'll be like, hey, sis, I've been watching you for years. So my GoFundMe right here. And I'll get like, and I feel bad sometimes even when I think I've donated to a few of my followers' GoFundMes, but if I don't recognize you in any way, like I know who my core followers are, especially on like Twitter and Instagram. I was like, I follow them back. So I know who they are and how engaged they are. So I'm like, if I ain't never seen you or nothing and you like, bruh, I be getting like 40 GoFundMes a week. It's not even a joke, bruh. In my DMs. And so that's another common misconception is that we're just like these machines that are loaded with money and we're businesses. So I've even been honest with some people and be like, hey, there's no information on your page. And like, you have to think of, sadly, you have to think of a influencer's Instagram or whatever, like you would a storefront in a way where it's like, would Target put this at the front of their glass shelves with no context or no validation of what's actually here. And even with small businesses, you have to come correct if you're trying to work with bigger influencers because you're working with a business. So their teams might not get back to you because it's like, oh, you didn't even put a link to your website in here and you just said, what's up? Yeah. Like I've been getting some emails.
Right. Hey, Chica. Like, sis, it's a business here.
Oh man, I've had friends and family too where they like will say, hey, my homegirl about to email you, and I'll like look out for it and I'll be like, oh hell no. Like I'll look at the email and be like, hey boo, yeah, what's your rates?
Shit.
Sent from iPhone, no signature, and I'm just like, oh my god. I don't know nothing. For what rates? For what? Number one, like what are you selling? Like what's going on?
Right.
That's so funny. Speaking of money, there was a conversation, especially last year, during the height of the civil uprising and unrest, where the Black Lives Matter movement was happening, or it was a lot of attention around Black creators, and there was there's always ongoing conversation about the disparity against Black content creators and white content creators, and there being that just big difference.
Gap.
The gap. Can you speak to that? Like, have you experienced that, like, personally, firsthand, where you're offered X amount of dollars and a white creator is offered said amount of dollars?
3X.
What's that like as a Black influencer?
I haven't seen the paperwork. I don't know if y'all saw that episode of Insecure where Molly saw her check and was like, and she saw her coworker's check by accident. It was like, okay. Yeah, I've seen some paperwork. Okay. Yeah.
It's
Definitely.
real.
I've been offered some outrageous rates. Okay. Like what people have to understand too is getting advertisement from an influencer is almost better. It's better than a commercial, right? Because you're getting directly to the target audience that you want. And me personally, I don't really take on anything that I don't either believe in, or even if it's something new, I'm like, give me, my standard is like 3 weeks minimum to try it out before I recommend this to anybody. And even with that, I'll put in disclaimers and say when I started trying it. So people know that
new here.
I just started.
Yeah, but nah, I've experienced that. And what's sad but really interesting is I remember this one company, I'm gonna get so candid, like numbers wise, they were going to try to pay me $400. And at this point I was like, I had like 250,000 followers at this point on YouTube.
$400?
$400 for a full dedicated video to their product. And I'm like, oh, and you get free product too. And I was like,
damn, the free product.
I was like, I can't. And then if you think about if you were to do a small sitcom with commercials that reached a 250,000 people, would you pay them $400 for that commercial? Absolutely not. Influencers are, as a whole, I feel like are significantly underpaid. People see these wild rates and then they forget that, like, yeah, we're not even touching the ad industry. Meanwhile, we are more people are online now on YouTube, etc., than on watching commercials. I don't know about y'all. I be muting commercials.
Yeah,
like
don't watch them.
They be louder. Like they be yelling at me and shit. I be muting them.
Yeah, and we record stuff and watch it later, so we rewind the
fast forward through the commercials. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, some commercials are good, but at the end of the day, when there's somebody you watch for a while, you trust their input, you tried other things they recommended, it was fire. You know what I'm saying? You're more likely to engage. I see one of my homegirls I trust on YouTube say this wig popping. I'd be like, huh, adds to cart. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So that transfer rate is crazy. So I was like, absolutely not. Not with and the 250,000 was just on YouTube. Like it's not counting Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and all the
Right.
other stuff. And so I said, nah, like, and I guys, y'all are gonna look at me like, what? Listeners, don't do this. So I was like, can can y'all get it to? Because I was in college too, so I need a little coin
You
for
need to
my
right.
my
But
tuition. So I was like, can y'all do like 800? Like, I was like, because I was like at a point where I was like, I wasn't desperate, but I was also like, I like this brand and I'm
Yeah.
willing to, but I was like, 400 just that's disrespectful.
Yeah.
800 was disrespectful too.
But we don't
Because
realize it in the moment.
yeah.
Cause child, we
in
done
the
did some
moment,
stuff.
absolutely not.
Pennies on the
Let
dollar.
me tell y'all, a year later, I had signed with a management agency, and that agency, most of the agencies in the space at this time, this was many years ago, was predominantly white owned, right?
Mm.
So this agency was owned by a white man, and the same brand came back, and they were like, "Yeah, I'm gonna throw the number out there too." They said 15K.
What?
Same brand a year later, literally probably less than a year later. Following had yes grown, but look at the difference, right? And then also
You
if you look at
see?
what white influencers are getting, they were blowing that out the water. They was doing like people with less followers getting more.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really one reason why I'd be like, we need a manager. I know that sounds crazy, but sometimes when you have that management that's white,
Yeah.
they do offer them bigger,
Contracts and
Yeah.
deals.
sick motherfuckers.
It makes me sick to my goddamn stomach.
Yeah.
But you
Sickening.
know, every time I hear, you already know what I feel about this. Every time I like talk with other content creators or influencers, whatever you want to talk about, I'm just encouraging anybody else who's listening and they consider themselves a creative that there's money out there to get.
Yeah.
And it might feel like it's not because our confidence isn't as high yet to demand
Or self-worth.
or self-worth to demand what we want and to ask for what we know we deserve, but shoot your shot.
Yeah.
And I'm speaking to, when I'm saying that, I'm speaking to myself too. I'm speaking to whoever's listening. Like, it's just a matter of asking for what the fuck you want, because nigga, if they want to fuck with you, they gonna find a way to get it to you, and they got the money to give.
They have it for sure.
That's what I have to remind myself.
Yep.
They have the money
Oh,
to
they
give.
do. They have huge budgets. Oh, and I got a tip for anybody out there who's maybe either like a smaller influencer, or B, just doesn't have management or representation. Because this is what I've done. I've told a bunch of people to do this, and it always works out, right? I said, hey, if you don't have management, go to the name dictionary, right? Pick out the whitest name that you can find in there.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, I don't care what it is. Isaac,
Sally.
Ian,
Yeah.
Sam, right? And then you answer all your emails in third person. Let me check with so and so. Now the issue this comes about is when it's time to get on calls. That's the only time that might be an issue.
Yeah.
But I said, hey, Black people know how to code switch.
Okay.
And a lot of minorities know how to code switch. So I said, if you got that code switch real right, you're like, hi, good to speak to you today. Like, literally,
Yeah.
hit them with that. It
Yeah.
don't matter. And then, like, let me go ahead and check with my client really quick. And then I come on, hey, guys, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Use the voice up a little.
And then
Yeah.
the bag goes
So,
up, huh?
Yeah. You got to finesse. You really have to finesse these
Gotta
people.
finesse.
Because
Most
it's
deals are
wild.
done through email anyway. Yup.
Yeah.
So that's my advice. I said, go get you a fake manager that's really you, and watch how things shift for you. I've seen it work in true time, y'all. I've advised so many people over the years to do this, and they were like, Bri, they literally like have gotten compliments like, your manager's so professional and like wonderful, and the manager's literally the same person that they were talking to.
The same.
A few emails ago.
You see how
Same
we be
person,
resourceful?
but they never got that compliment.
Right.
That's the talent. They never got that.
Never.
That is crazy. So how do you like prioritize your mental health because you said sometimes the hate outweighs the love. You are constantly creating, balancing. Like, how do you prioritize your mental health and make sure, you know what, Bri is good?
I know a lot of people say this, but the block button is your friend. It is your friend. People will try to say all this stuff like, "Oh, you sensitive? She be blocking people." Da da da.
I don't give a damn.
I can't hear you. I'm
Right.
real childish. I can't hear you. Cover my ears up. Like, there's that song on TikTok. It's like, the dude is like, "Nigga tried to give me bad advice. I had to close my ears." Like, that's what I'm doing. I close my ears. I said, like, because a lot of people think, "Oh, they can't handle feedback." I'm like, nah, it's not I can't handle feedback. It's the way feedback is given. If it's not given in a way I feel is very respectful. Also, there's another thing that I brought to people's attention that I think, especially in the Black community, we can work on. I said, I've even told this to a family member before, and they felt it. I said, if you truly respect somebody, and it's not for a selfish reason, you're not going to give them constructive criticism in front of an audience, period. And I think about anyone I've criticized in a public forum, like Donald Trump.
Period.
Didn't have no
Fuck you.
respect. I have no respect for him.
I have negative 2,576 respect. So
Yeah,
I don't
fuck 'em.
care, right? So you have to think about it in that way as well, because again, people will talk at you and say this was constructive criticism. No, it wasn't, because I saw, I forgot if it was who it was that said this, but they said that social media went downhill for creators' mental health when there was a like button next to comments, right? Because now people could socially rank people disrespecting you, people saying something that's untrue, or even constructive criticism could be the top comment on something instead of, hey,
the
nice
love, right?
30-minute video, but this 6 seconds really blew the shit out of me, and now it's like that's the top comment, right?
Yeah.
So now nobody's paying, like everybody's distracted because negativity sells. Like people flock to that shit. Like they love drama and things like that. Drama literally excites a part of your brain. It gives you a dopamine kick. So like people are going to flock towards dramatic topics, you know?
That's why people be in the shade room comments. Every time a video come up, people be like, I'm only here for the comments.
Yeah.
Notifications on, everything.
Yes. Saying what the hell they want to say, knowing good and well you wouldn't be talking to nobody off the street like that. That'd be the thing that be sending me. Like, listen, would you say that in the streets? How do you come on somebody's page that you don't know talking crazy? That's just sick to me. I hate that for us.
You know, there's been a few times where like maybe I feel like only one or two times somebody says something crazy to us and I'm like, bitch, I don't have it in my heart. As soon as somebody says something mean, I'm like, why are you here?
Yes.
I'm like, why are you here? We're
It's
so
that
nice.
Snapback thing.
God.
And it's hard when especially when it's like, don't get me wrong, clapping back at a troll every once in a while is healthy too. It is healthy. But I feel like it's the people that make things real personal. You know what I'm saying? Or let's say you get a piece of information wrong, right? It's disheartening. And I said if it's about intent too. Like if you really care about something the way you say you care about it, then and what you're doing is discouraging, then do you really care about it? You know what I'm saying? Because I can tell you 100% of the times when I've gotten constructive criticism in my DM, I have thanked people. I said, thank you for bringing this to my attention. Like, because I'm not an all-knowing person. I'm not perfect, and I feel like social media expects you to know everything. And they don't celebrate growth on social media at all. Like, it's like, 6 years ago you said you'd never use this product, and I'm like, 6 years ago I was an idiot. Okay,
Right.
Look, I literally, I'm not the same person I was 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
That kills me. The receipts trend. Like, why are you going all the way back into my Twitter? Honestly, truly, I had to go look because I said when I blow up,
Bitch, don't bring us down. Them tweets
you will not bring up my old tweets and have me deleting my account.
So you deleted them already?
I deleted them because the thing is, the way Twitter used to be when we first got on Twitter back in 2009. It's not the same Twitter. It's not the same Twitter. And I will not be dragged.
Yep.
Did you have some crazy shit in there?
You know, I was just talking crazy. As a child, some shit.
There's children. And here's the thing, like, that's how I decipher who needs to be very accountable and who doesn't, right? I do factor in age, but I also factor in the culture of that platform at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Some people have said some things that I was like, oh no, that was fucked up in every era of that platform.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Right.
some racist stuff I've seen, oh my gosh, I know some of these people too, which is crazy. But guess what I did? I slid in their DMs
Yeah.
and told them about themselves respectfully. And then guess
Yeah.
what? I was greeted with positivity.
Mm-hmm.
And I seen one girl who got chewed out for something she said. You know, she from the country and had certain values that might have been familial and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And she broke down crying and said, "I got a really great message with some facts in it and things that was really helpful from somebody." And I think it was me. Yeah, and you know what I mean? And that felt even better than telling her about herself in a public way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of fulfillment in that. It's like it's temporary.
Yeah. It's petty.
Some people live on that. So Bri, you chatted about the evolution of yourself as an adult, like growing into adulthood, and even the way you've kind of matured across your platforms. How would you describe your brand, and what do you think has changed most about it?
Ooh. I know one of the biggest changes, and people who are familiar with my content know this. I have always been a very visually loud person. Like I again used to have a neon pink afro on a predominantly white campus. You know what I'm saying?
They're like, there's the
Very
black girl.
visually loud.
There's
Yeah,
Bri.
I used to have friends, and like this didn't feel any type of way because I knew, I was like, no, you dead ass right. Like I used to have friends that'd be like, yeah, Bri, I saw you from the third floor of my class because I saw your hair, and I'd be like, great, that's exactly what I was going for. So I will say what's the funniest change is actually I dyed my hair like jet black, because I was like, I love like extensions and making styles more dramatic with like ponytails and stuff like that. And I was like, y'all don't know the struggle. If I want to just go to the beauty supply store and get some like braiding hair and stuff, they don't make that color. That color. I said, even if it's green, it's not this tinted green. And I was like, girl, I'm not trying to have mismatching braiding hair and all this. So I was like, you know what? I'm a do colorful wigs, and also like I had to keep cutting my hair like every couple months just to, make sure it was healthy from being colored so much. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna grow my hair out and commit to growing it out. I'm gonna dye it like jet black, start from scratch. And then, now I can match when I wear my regular hair, I can match it with stuff very easy. So 1B every time. And then if I want to do like wild colors, I can do it on wigs. Now, 'cause wigs have advanced a lot since I started wearing wigs, girl. Like some things used to be a little tragic. I'm talking to you, Tyler Perry, man. I will never forgive you for the Shamar Moore cornrow wig.
Girl,
my
that was a
God.
mess.
I
That
hated
was a
that.
mess.
I will never forgive him for that, but it's okay. It's now a cultural moment in time we can reflect on
Yes.
the evolution of wigs. But yeah, so I think that's one of the big evolutions. My mom asked me when I dyed my hair black, she said, is everything okay? She's like, are you good emotionally, mentally?
Right, the
'Cause,
dark
like,
moments, the dark
didn't-
hair.
She said, you have a natural hair color? Like, what's going on? And I think that came with maturity because I felt like I had to state my presence visually all the time in a very loud way. And I kind of got a satisfaction from, honestly, like making white people at the establishments that were like having microaggressions and things against me at my school. I felt like by super hyper owning everything black about me and the hair and the dramatic makeup and black lipstick at 8 a.m. going to class and stuff, like I felt like F the system. But literally, I think now I'm just more comfortable in myself.
Yeah.
And like I don't have to prove shit to you. Like
Period.
that's kind of the thing that's changed about everything is like it don't matter what hair color I am, like I have nothing to prove to anybody.
Speaking about your green hair, I seen this reel and it was some girl, like a black girl, she was singing and she had like a low cut hair. You seen that video? And it was like green, pink. It wasn't actually changing, but it was like some sort of effect. And it was like green hair is not unprofessional, pink hair is not unprofessional. Like we've kind of been conditioned to think that only one one way or one type of hair or one color is professional. And I think that just speaks to like, you know, your experience with your different hair coloring, and like we just have this Eurocentric view of what professionalism is. It's like, nigga, it's whatever it is. Braids are professional, my nigga. Afro is professional.
Yeah.
Locks are professional.
yes.
Green
Right.
hair is professional. You feel me? Professional is me. I bring the professionalism.
Right.
Has nothing to do with my
Amen.
aesthetic.
My physical appearance. Tell them.
Period.
And that is that on that.
That's it.
Because I met some very unprofessional,
White.
societally standard professionals,
Okay.
quote unquote.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I've had some people say and conduct themselves in some very, very educated manners at some of these jobs who are sitting in positions above me. And that's why I think content of character is good. And then also, I feel like professionalism is a microaggression in its own way. I saw that in a study. It was a university study where they said that, like, the concept of professionalism alone, since I'm like one thing that always gets me is time is money, right? So the time that we have to spend as Black people to just be quote unquote presentable, the idea of presentable, is taking up so much more of my time to do a wash day and try to make sure every curl is defined and all that. I'm like, why can't I just put in some blue magic and go?
Right.
You know, why
Period.
my edges got to be done every time? Like, don't get me wrong, I love me some swirly edges,
Yes.
but I don't always have time to do that. And like, I be ready to have a panic attack when I'm walking out the door, and I'm like, oh fuck, I didn't do my edges.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, they're gonna think I'm unkept out there.
Yeah.
Like I'm, running somewhere to just meet somebody for drinks. Something like, damn.
You got to go
All
through
right,
the
so I end up
motions.
I've been late for my edges before. Like that's. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, once you're late for edges, which we've all been late for something having to do. This hair has taken me out so many times to the point where I'm damn near tears. Like, you know what? Fuck it. Now I gotta go with the bun.
Yeah, you hate the
We
buns.
be trying to experiment on something or do something new, and it's like, oop, like I'm taking down my twist out, girl, and then one section ain't dry, and then it's just like, oh, the panic ensues. Like,
Yes.
panic meter just.
It's anxiety.
Oh my God.
You start shaking.
My
It's
heart
like,
beating, y'all.
once I feel the damp portion of the twist, I say, well, fuck me.
Slap me on the ass and call me unkept.
Yes.
I'm doing my 400th puff of the year.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Puff day.
They gonna say that's her go-to.
Her
for
signature
real.
look.
Right, the signature look.
Signature.
So,
And
like,
even I don't know. Oh, go ahead.
no,
My bad.
you go ahead.
I was curious too. I just had a question for y'all's viewers too. Do you ever feel the pressure when wearing, let's say if you have natural hair, when wearing it curly to, I guess, quote unquote, feminize your outfit? Because I know I picked up on that about myself, where I said, oh, if I'm wearing an afro, I feel like I got to wear like a colorful shirt that shows a little collarbone or a little cleavage, or very like 70s inspiration.
Yeah.
How you
Yeah.
feel like I got to wear something a little more fitted. But then if I wear like my curly hair with like, my everyday, like some sweatpants and da-da-da, it feels societally more dressed down than if I was to wear like a straight wig
Yeah.
with some sweatpants.
Yeah.
'Cause that's like, then you the Kendall Jenner. Like,
yeah.
oh, fashion icon.
Athleisure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm definitely aware of how my hair will make a look. Like, me and my friend Kayla, we have this conversation all the time, and I don't think it's necessarily correct, but it's the way we've been conditioned and the way, like, we genuinely feel sometimes. Like, when I have my hair in braids, like, yeah, the throw-on outfits seem to look different, but when you have this natural do, especially if the shit don't dry all the way and it's compacted on that head,
My gosh, yes.
I'm like, certain looks, like, maybe this will look better if my hair was this way, and maybe it will look better if my hair is that way, which I want to get out of, because it's like, at the end of the day, this is all I got on me, this hair that I have on my head. And so whatever I decide to wear, like, this look is going to have to work with it, period. And I think that more Black women should try to embrace, like, our natural hair, and knowing that it's acceptable. Somebody on Twitter, it was a whole thing the other day, said that braids are not a birthday style.
look. I seen that on Instagram.
It made its way over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
trickled
said
over.
that braids are in a birthday style. And it's like, so I have to have bundles on the birthday to be like a bad bitch? Like, no, if I want to be in a protective
Ooh, that just
style
feels weird.
for my birthday, then it's a birthday style. If I'm wearing it on my birthday,
Then it's
a
a
birthday
look.
style.
Exactly.
If I have a bun, it's a birthday style. If I have a wash and go, it's a
whatever the
birthday
fuck you want
style.
it to be.
Why do it have to be a straight laid slayed look to be birthday? Like,
And my thing is, I was born with some naps. Like I don't.
And that was
like,
my
so why
birthday
can't I
look.
wear-
I was born by
That
the
was my
river.
first birthday look.
Yeah.
Like for real. My first birthday. I said my first birthday was very 4A.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna need y'all to relax.
Same,
Exact-
sis. For sure was my birthday look. So yeah, I am aware of it, but I'm trying to decondition myself from even giving a fuck, because at the end of the day, this what I got. Y'all gonna get what I got.
I've never
I've
worn
heard
my
of the
curly
theme of
hair.
that.
Yeah, I've never seen you with a curl. You got the pin curls. I would love to see you like that, Germany, with the wash and go.
Bitch, please. It's actually a wash and no, and you already know that's never
wash
gonna.
and no.
It's never been a
And
wash and
goes
go.
aren't even wash and goes.
Let me
They're
tell
not.
you something.
You
My
know-
hair is dry. It's like it's very. What's that called? Low porosity. Let me
I
get.
have low porosity too.
I have low porosity hair. It's Brittany, you know my hair be like it be in a little tight cap. And honestly, it's people always ask me what's the inspiration and why I locked my hair. There's no spiritual journey I went on. I'm not tapped in and I saying I didn't care about none of that. This was literally because I could not do anything else with my hair. I don't have the energy. I don't have the patience. It's not manageable for me. And here I am. So I've never had to think about how I'm gonna wear my curls.
Yeah.
But I've had like experiences with this natural hair, with my hair in this natural state at work. And even when it gets a little fuzzy, I be like, ooh, I wonder how people
Yeah,
like,
you'd be like, it's not looking soft.
yeah, I be like,
Pressure
ooh,
to retwist and
yeah,
rewind,
like, you know, although I
everything
try
like
to
that.
put a little time in between a retwist, when I'm at work, I be thinking, damn, I probably don't look cute right now. Like in a rugged kind of
And
way.
it's healthy. So that's the concerning things. All the things that are healthy for us to do as Black women are deemed unpresentable.
Yeah.
How is my health unpresentable? Like, well, excuse me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about
I
it.
even talked about this in like the clean beauty space. I did a little mini doc on my channel about the toxicity in the cosmetics industry and ingredients and all that stuff. And I was like, bruh, I will never tell nobody not to get a certain brand because I still use shit that's toxic. But my thing is transparency. Like I just want it to be. I feel like everybody deserves a choice to know what they're putting on their scalp and all that stuff, right? I did part of my documentary. I went to several grocery stores, several like pharmacy areas and stuff that sold these clean beauty products because they're harder to access. Period. I went to remember Whole Foods, which has clean beauty products, and it was in where was I? I was in Nova at this time, Northern Virginia. And they
Oh
have a
shit,
Black
that's what y'all
population,
calling it,
don't get me
Nova?
wrong.
That's what y'all call it, Nova?
Lord.
I'm like,
Oh
Lord,
man,
no
I went
hoe?
in there. I videotaped it too. That like, y'all know I'm like what in the foundation's caramel tan shade. Is
Yeah.
where my shade fall. They didn't have my shade, y'all. They didn't even have
Oh,
like
shit.
6 shades leading up to my shade. Nothing. So I was like, number one, I always say I should never be the last shade in any line,
Right.
ever. And because I'm like, if I'm the last shade, you excluding like.
Yeah, I'm shit out of
100%
luck.
my family.
Yeah, exactly.
I always be saying like I was like, my mom can't find a shade in this, I'm not wearing it. 'Cause
Period.
that's one of them things that I was like, if my family, my like gorgeous, amazing, deserving of options family cannot wear this, why the hell would I put it on? You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna advertise this. And if I do, I like literally, if it's something that like maybe is contracted or obligational or some way, or I got PR, I will call out the fact that said, shade's very much lacking here. Like I will say it. Like, you know
Period.
what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I didn't buy this.
Yeah.
The shades are lacking.
Gifted. It was gifted.
Can't control that it was gifted to me. But look, I'm gonna let y'all know right now.
Yeah.
You might wanna pass on this one, right?
Period.
But yeah, it's tough, man. Like trying to navigate that space, and it's like I just want to be healthy and be able to have my health be a symbol of beauty.
Yeah, without doing what y'all wanted to do.
Yeah.
So, what
Yeah.
tips would you give to women of color who are trying to enter into this beauty community, or anybody that's trying to build a following online?
Oof, there's so many. Um,
Pick your
don't
top
do it
three.
for a following.
Mm.
Don't do it for a following. I always put this out there. My first YouTube check was like 87 cents. Okay. Don't do it
Damn.
for a following. Don't do it for money.
Mm.
Of course, money is an added bonus into everything. It's nice to be financially stable and everything. But I notice that people who end up switching and doing it just for money start doing follow-up videos of exposing my journey with depression. Like I be seeing it
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
bada boom, bada bing, one and
Yeah.
two. You know what I'm saying? Or people who start out that way, they have this desperation there.
Mhm.
And a lot of people will do these tips, right? And I see people like massively applying these tips to the point the tip no longer makes any sense to do, and it just becomes irritating. I remember there was a tip people said like put ask for people to become your friends on YouTube and go in people's comment section and promote your channel.
Okay. No.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Okay, that leads to my second biggest tip. Be kind and engage with content. Literally, it's that simple. Because let's say you don't even have to mention that you have a brand, right? It's kind of corny. The reason why I say this is because the way I put it is I said, imagine. I put it in a video, and some people were disagreeing with me, and that's fine. This is my point of view. I say, imagine that you work so hard. You paint this beautiful art piece. You spent, because some of my videos, y'all, have taken 6 days consecutively to work on, right?
Mhm.
So especially the more artsy, fully edited ones, 19 hours of editing. I will time myself.
Oh my gosh.
So 6 days, 19 hours of editing. Finally put this beautiful painting on display at a gallery that I own. And then 40 people walk in and put flyers for their art on top of my painting so that it's covering it up.
Yeah.
I said, that's what you advertising yourself on someone else's art comes across as corny. I said, y'all could disagree with me, but you look corny. Okay,
Yeah.
you don't do that. What you do is you strike up a conversation about that piece and say, this is a gorgeous piece, da da da, and say what you like about it. And then the artist comes in and is like, dang, thank you so much, da da da. And from those things, then you can introduce what you do.
Yeah.
Right.
And that gives you more credibility. It's like, oh, so you do something like this, cool. Like now that's how you build true bonds. Because when you come in with that intent to just promote yourself, it comes off as ingenuine, it comes off as selfish,
Yeah.
corny, like I said.
Yeah.
So don't be corny, y'all. If you like something, or even if there's things or videos out there that align with something that you love, just comment on it. And if you're a smaller influencer or you don't have a big following, maybe 70% of these comments may not get a bunch of likes, or people may not visit your page, but eventually, like I said, there's people that have been engaging with my content so heavily that I followed them back on my platforms, right?
Yeah.
Simply off of just genuine engagement, sending a word of encouragement. Hey Bri, I know it's been a crazy year, take the time you need because the Black Lives Matter is going to, bruh, follow immediately.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and that shows up on other people's notifications, like, oh, Bri just followed this person. You know what I'm saying? So like, it can, just being a genuine person can create a domino effect for you. So I would say, if you're a business, do that. Be genuine and go engage with people.
Yeah.
And then also put out, like, my final tip is put out things. Think about helping before you think about helping yourself, right? So most of my content, like I said, I didn't put out my first hair video because I wanted to do hair videos. I put out my first hair video. Number one, I had just went natural, so I was all in it. Plus, the opposition was real, y'all. I went natural when it was not cool. It was not, like, my mom and I joke. I told her about, my mom busted out laughing. I told her about my first little experience coming down the steps with my little braid out. Like, I done did that. My mom looks at me and she's like,
What
so
you
what are we
doing?
doing with this hair?
Right.
Girl.
And I said,
It's actually done.
I was like, we did it. And then my mom busted out laughing because we just talked about this last week. So I was like, yo, so that opposition that I was facing in my daily life, whether it wasn't from ill intent for most people at all, that drove me to be even more passionate. Let me learn more. Let me figure out how to get this to pop, da 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 da. And so once people asked about it, I was excited to share it. Like, oh, let me put y'all on so y'all don't have to have nobody ask what we doing about this hair.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think just also creating from a genuine place of wanting to uh, alleviate suffering, make somebody's journey a little easier. A lot of people want to gatekeep secrets, but I'm like, the way I think
Bri,
of it, y'all,
it's the gatekeeping. It's the
it's the gatekeeping.
gatekeeping.
Yeah.
That kills me. That is such a big, I mean, it's big everywhere, but here in LA, honey.
But then people have the message of they want to uplift, support community, but you're gatekeeping, so you're lying.
You're lying.
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
You're a liar.
And that's the thing. They be lying. They be lying. And that's the thing. There are some things about yourself I do think that you should hold near and dear, right? There's some things I told my followers I might never do a very in-depth video on how I edit certain things,
Yeah.
right? And because those things are, I know we're in a day and age where everybody latches onto something and they take it as their own, right? So there's certain things that are near and dear to me. I'm not going to show you, I'm one of those people, I'll show you how to use the software. I'm not going to show you how to edit like me.
Period.
You
Right.
know? So I'll put you on to the skill set, which will take you far. I said, take this skill set and apply it to make it you, right? So that's one thing. And I said, I think of yourself like Google. Google is the biggest search engine in the world, one of the biggest, like I think in the top 10 largest companies in the world, right? A lot of the sites that are hosted on Google are not. Okay. So as a creator, I like to think of myself, I said, I'd rather be a Google than one of the sites on Google. You know?
Period.
So I'd rather be the person where they're like, I said, I embrace now that people do take some of my content and things. I'm like, okay, let me be the go-to point. If I need to be put on, if I need something honest, if I need the, like, I've been showing people my failures with my natural hair that we was just talking about. And I said, look, y'all be nice, because I'm showing y'all that it took the 16 of these twist outs to get the one that y'all saw in video number, the viral one, right?
Right.
Exactly.
So yeah, I think that's it. Just showing, things that are authentic to you, but also give people valuable content that, like, sends them on places. And I love when I go on another video and someone's like, I'm here because of Bri. Wonderful. Like, I love that. That's a great feeling. And then other creators are so grateful. They're like, thank you for sending people to my channel. I'm like, girl, I wouldn't know how to do this if it wasn't for your method.
Period. Period. You know?
Yeah.
So don't gatekeeping. Somebody once shared with us that you study the game, don't study the player.
Yeah.
So figuring out the process is one thing. Figuring out someone's specific process is different.
Yeah.
So we've talked about the negative.
that.
Yeah, I love it too. I love that piece. So we've talked about the negative kind of effects of being an influencer and being online. What do you think? This is my last question and we're wrapping it up. What would you say is one positive attribute or experience about being online and being an influencer?
Oof, there's so many. All right, I'm trying to pick
Top
one
two,
that's
and it's
most
not two.
exciting. Right. Like, oh my gosh. I genuinely love being able to alleviate the things that I went through. Like, I think reducing suffering is like a really big passion of mine where I can. So if I know that there was a simple answer to something that I literally suffered to get, and like, I'm like, oh, this, going through all these things to try to get a simple answer. And then I get upset, like, damn, it was this simple. And I was like, ripping my room apart trying to figure this out on Google for hours. And sometimes I think some people want other people to suffer like they did as rite of passage.
Yeah.
And I think some things are a rite of passage, right? Like, yes, you should spend them hours in the editing room. Yes, you should. Like, some people were mad that you have a minimum requirement of subscribers and watch time before you can monetize. I was like, the requirement used to be worse than this. So, like, that stuff, that grinds my gears. I'm like, no. Earn your dues. You know what I'm saying? But when it's something simple, I'm not gatekeeping simple stuff. I was like, look, I'll tell y'all something right now. If you want the blurry background YouTubers get you a cheap 50mm lens. It's not the camera they're using. I know you bought the same camera they had in the description box. It was never the camera. It's the lens. Period.
She gave that to
Something
y'all
simple
for
as
free.
that.
Yeah.
For free. For free.
See?
That's the standard YouTube focal length, 50 millimeter lens. Gonna get you one.
I see how the background be blurry and they be in focus.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That 50 millimeter gets the job done.
It
'Cause that
does.
done been brought up so
Yes.
many times. That 50 millimeter lens.
Flip and tumble to
does.
50.
Yes.
And also, like, I want people to know too. If you DM me asking for help, I'm not trying to be an asshole when I say, because I had actually a DM like literally last night where someone was like, hey, what camera and what settings do you use? And I, rather than typing out everything again, I said, hey, in my description box, which I do this for every video, it's a template, I leave it there. I said, in my description, I list my camera as well as my editing software. And I said, as for the settings, I never recommend settings because I said my settings change based on if I'm using 2 lights versus 7 lights. Sometimes I use 7 lights. The color of my backdrop. If I have a tan, or if I'm like, been in the house too long, like settings change. If I'm filming in front of the sun versus in studio. So I said, here are the 3 things that you should learn about when you get a camera.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'll tell people, here was my first camera. Because I'm like, you don't have to get what I have
right
to
now.
get a certain quality. I said, my first camera was dirt cheap. But if you know the settings, like aperture, f-stop, shutter, and educate yourself on actual photography, you can use any camera. Like, I could pick up any camera today and make a quality video because I know how it works. So I always teach somebody how it works before I teach them exactly what I do, because I'll be setting you up for failure if I teach you exactly what I do.
That's a cheat code.
That's the cheat code.
Learn
right
how
there.
to work it, because we'll be like, I need the camera that they have. You don't know how to use a cheap one you got, so you actually don't need that.
That's me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You gotta get that one, Brittany.
Like,
People
no.
be like, I got the best camera and it's still grainy, and I'm like, that's because your aperture's on the wrong settings, sis. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Check your
I
aperture.
can't recommend a setting to you based on where you are, because I was like, I have to be there and I see and play. I play around with my settings till I get what I like. You know.
It's the consistency and the effort for me.
Yes.
Well, Bri, can you let our listeners know where they can find you on the internet?
Yeah.
This has been an amazing
on the
convo.
interwebs.
Yes.
Definitely, y'all. Thank you for having me. So, on the internet, I have changed my name quite a few times in the past. So, a lot of people know again, just like hair colors. But I am on Instagram and Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. I'm Bri Hall, BRI space HALL, Hall like the hallway, but no way, And then on all these platforms, it's at Bri Hall Official, basically. But on YouTube, it's just Bri Hall. For music, my streaming name is Lahara, so it's LA space HARA. And then lastly, I also have a podcast coming out in May, and that is called Count to 10. So keep an eye out for that as well, where you also see the amazing Germany and Brittany on my podcast.
Yes.
We're talking about some real shit too, y'all.
Yes. We're so excited for Bri and her upcoming podcast. It's really good. We want you all to tune in. We'll let you know. We'll be posting about it when it drops.
Yes.
And we're super excited for you, Bri. All the things that are on the horizon. It's going to be a good year.
Yes, it is. Thank you again, Bri.
Yeah.
Lowe's has more of what trade pros like you need to get the job done. That means more delivery options, more convenient hours to fit your schedule, and more savings to fit your budget. More of the brands you trust the most. More of everything you need, all in one place. That's why, in the past year, more electricians, landscapers, painters, plumbers, and other pros helped make Lowe's the new home for trade pros. U.S. only.